Yo, what's good, X World? What's good, YouTube World? Y'all already know what it is. The one-man force, the eyes and flavor of DFW Sports. Coming at you with a late night episode of some sports raps, baby. As we jump into EP 15, we're going to give a little quick recap. Starting off the New Year's. Hopefully everybody's New Year has been fire. You know what I'm saying? We got a little, some things to talk about here on this episode as y'all joining me on this live stream today or tonight. Starting off the 2024 calendar season, some things been not going all too well, but some things have been going well. Coming here on this episode, we'll go over some things. We'll talk about the Stars as they just came out of a loss to the Canadians 4-3. We'll talk about that real quick. We'll also talk about last night's embarrassing loss from the Mavericks as they fell to the Utah Jazz. We'll talk about that. We'll also give my thoughts about the Cowboys signing Lyle Collins to the practice squad. We'll talk about that. And then there's some things going on. Dalvin Cook and the the New York Jets have mutually agreed to go ahead and, go about their ways. So Dalvin Cook looks like he's going to be a free agent to join with whoever. So should the Cowboys look forward to picking him up? I'll give my thoughts about that. So let's go ahead and jump into this, man. Appreciate for everybody who's joining in. Like I said, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And you'll be able to catch everything that's going up on DFW Sports, baby. As like I said, this channel is for all my people who want to represent Dallas-Fort Worth sports, that represents down for winning, baby. And we drop in so much flavor in here. It's almost like this channel is like battle rapping for the DFW sports. You know what I'm saying? That's why we call this sports raps. We're going to spit our flavor the way we represent for our team and for our city. So this is how we going down this way. So let's go ahead and jump into it real quick. Talk about the Stars as they did. My bad, y'all. Stars end up coming out short on their first game of the 2024 calendar year. Like I said, the Stars are kind of they're one of those teams that's kind of crazy with them. If they start off hot, they can start off scoring goals early, but they seem to not be able to hold on to it. Or they're that team that they kind of got to start slow. Basically, the team got to start fast against the Stars for them to wake up and try to come back and be those comeback kids. And that basically was today's game with the Dallas Stars. It started off real quick as Jamie Benn did end up getting a goal 11 seconds into the game. Ended up putting it into the net. Really gave some good vibes, but it just seemed like the Stars ended up, when they seemed to start off fast like that, it seemed like they just kind of let their guard down and they kind of just seemed to lose momentum of the whole game. And give credit to the Canadians as they did not let that early goal deter them. They ended up putting up 2 more goals going into it, and coming in the third period was really a dead period where you did see the Stars down a good 4-1. But last 6 minutes of the game, that's where you start to see the Stars make their rally on, and this has kind of been their season so far, is where if they get down, they're willing to bring themselves up out of it. So, you've seen this plenty of times. If you have watched Stars hockey, they are a team where if they score early and they're up early, you might want to hold your breath and still stick around because some things can happen to them. And if they're down early, you might still want to stick around because there's some things that can really happen in the favor of the Stars. So they don't get the victory green. Unfortunately, they're trying to pick up some more points going up in the Central Division. This loss puts them at 22-10-4. They're still making way. I still like what the Stars doing. They just got to get healthy at the goalie situation right now. We can't wait for Jake Ottinger to bless us back with his presence for sure. We are really needing that down there in the net in Dallas. So it's gonna be all good. I believe the Stars, they will be in play coming Thursday against the Colorado Avalanche. So that's going to be a tough game within itself. So they'll be down here, but they got some home cooking to go as well. Colorado is a good team, so let's see if the Stars will be able to really shake back off of that and really able to handle themselves. But like I said, the Stars did everything what they could do to come back in this game. About the last 7 minutes of the third period, they did everything possible. And then when about the last minute 15 of the game, they went empty net, and they actually had their opportunities to really close the game and tie it up, really, and send it into some overtime, but they just ended up falling up short. So, that is what it is. They take their first L of the 2024 calendar season. Let's see if they bounce back Thursday when they play Colorado Avs, man. So let's let all my Stars, Texas hockey people out there, if you're going to the AAC, man, make sure you represent and hold it down for the loudest, and do it the proudest. So that's how we're going to do, and that's how we're going to end on that. Let's go ahead and jump into the next topic. Let's talk about the Dallas Mavericks as they played last night on the road against the Utah Jazz in a game that they got the brakes beat off. You know what I'm saying? It was also Kyrie Irving first game back coming out of injury. You know what I'm saying? He did end up getting the first buckets of the game for the Dallas Mavericks. That was real, it was real good to see. But overall, the Mavericks just didn't really have a good shooting night at all. I mean, this was a night they could forget about it. It just seems like the ass whooping that we put on the Utah Jazz a while back when Luka had that 40-point triple-double and we spanked them boys by 50, they returned to serving, baby. They returned to serving as the Mavs fell to the Utah Jazz 127-90, suffering their 15th loss of the season as they're 19-15 right now. It was just a poor shooting night for the Mavericks as they shot 39% from the field. They put up 93 shots. And only hit 37. Three-point line, it really wasn't. Second quarter, they started to do some things. Jaden Harden really kind of kept the Mavs up afloat as long as he could, because he really came in the third quarter and he put up 12 points alone himself. I think it was not even 12, but I think it was 12 behind the arc. But I think in the total quarter, he put up like 17 points that really kept the Mavs in flux to try to have some type of decency to really play this game, as they were really kind of close throughout the game. They made their runs, they made their stretch, but Utah really had control of this whole game going into the fourth quarter, and then they just walked away from them. The Mavs really got rebounded real badly on the glass. 63-46, they lost that margin. So anytime the Mavs are not able to rebound the basketball, bad things are going to happen to them. They were bad from the free throw line as well, and just shooting wise, nobody really did good. Like I said, Kyrie did have 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists in his game back. It just looked like his legs weren't underneath him quite good enough for him to, actually make the type of shots that you see. His handles, his quickness is still there, but it just looks like he's going to need some time coming back. And the Mavs have just got to figure out what they're going to do with their big man rotation coming off of the bench. Dwight Powell wasn't too bad, but like I said, the game just really kind of got away from him as my dog walks up in here. I thought I had the door closed, but what's up? Looking at it, man, Luka, he had a double-double, but it was 19. He had 19 points, 14 assists, but he was 6 of 20 from the field. And that's just not really that good of a shooting performance. So that was just the Mavs night within itself. What they did to Golden State, like, they got up on Golden State, and when Golden State kept coming, making their runs, the Mavs would just keep stepping on their necks. And that's exactly what Utah did to the Dallas Mavericks last night. And like I said, for the Mavericks. I'm not too really much worried. I did say when Kyrie came back that, they're going to put up 120, 130 average. Now, that didn't happen, but, the Mavericks, they got some things to iron out. Derek Lively, this was just a game where the Utah Jazz was just ready for the Mavericks, and they just did not let the Mavericks get up on them. Big shout out to Mr. Cowboy, man. Appreciate you for joining the chat, man. What's up, my guy? What's up, player? What it is, also I got my big bro up in here. What's up, Bug? What's the deal, bro? Appreciate you for joining the chat, man. We going over everything right now. We gonna go ahead and and like I said, the Mavericks, that was their first game of the 24 calendar year, but coming after that game, I believe they're going to be on a 7-game home stretch. So all my Mavs fans for life, if you out there, if you going to the AAC to support the Mavericks, man, get loud and proud for them and represent the best way for sure, man. Because we're going to need it going down this home stand, as the Western Conference is just going to be a tough race going down to the, All-Star break and into the end. So we're going to see what the Dallas Mavericks what they can get and what they can be. My man, Mr. Cowboy, said he also went to that last Cowboys game, as I was in there for sure. And, on the YouTube, make sure you hit that like and go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I did just drop my latest vlog on the last Cowboys game where they went 16 straight. Got the Ring of Honor ceremony in there with Jimmy Johnson up in there, man. So make sure y'all check that out, man. It's a high five vlog for y'all to check out, man. We got good game footage. Make sure you follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Drewski Selfmade. Follow me on Instagram at It's Drewski, man. And you can follow me on YouTube. Type in the search bar to go into the channel of Sports Rapz. That's Rapz with a Z. We going in there. And like I said, for the Mavericks, man, Mavericks just gotta, they just gotta figure out. It comes down to Jason Kidd to see what he's really gonna do and how he's gonna really figure this out and play the roster. So looking forward to that. Let's go ahead and get some Cowboy talk up in here. Let's get some Cowboy talk up in this thing, man. Mr. Cowboy, what's up, bro? That was your first game? First Cowboys home game? Hey, you picked the right time to go to a game, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Girl, I need to cut the clip. I need to clip you. You come in. You know what I'm saying? How was your first experience at AT&T Stadium during this home game? I was one of them dudes who said, man, until the Cowboys really win something, I'm not putting a cent to that AT&T Stadium. You know what I'm saying? But as time went on and all that type stuff, it's you got to experience, especially when it's in your backyard. And once we started kicking off this channel, I was like, I'm going to be in the trenches for all of the sports teams that's in the DFW. So I started doing that. I took my ass off my shoulders, took my pride off my shoulders, and was like, look, let's go ahead and experience something. And since we done experienced something, I'm not going to lie, we started this channel really going last year. Since we've experienced this, man, it's been just like what you said. It's been amazing, bro. Like, it's crazy to think about it. These 16 home game, this winning streak that they're on, I done went to the 12 of them. 12 out of 16. A boy done seen victories in that thing. And they go down and win. They handle business 325 Sunday against Washington, which we'll talk about later on in the week. So make sure you stay tuned. You're gonna see this face. I told you, I'm just coming at him the only way I know how to. I'm coming at him like a hungry rapper, trying to get him a deal. But I'm representing for the DFW for real. And going to them games, man, when I first started going, it was like, bro, this is like a real live club atmosphere. It's nothing like going to the game and the tailgating to all that, man. It's just it's a whole different another level of vibe down here at AT&T Stadium, man. It's a whole different vibe. So that's how we really go into it. And he's giving me another topic to talk about before we jump into some Cowboy news. I appreciate you joining this chat for sure, Mr. Cowboy. Let's go ahead and do it. He asked me, what do you think about the Detroit fans saying that the refs cheated them? Now, you gotta look at it from a Detroit fan's perspective. They made them a playoff run. I believe it was 2014, I believe. Was it 2014 or was it 2015? 2016? It was one of them years they came down here and let's just say a play happened to where they honestly feel on Hitchens it should have been a pass interference call where he was really face guarding. So, if I was a Lions fan, me holding it's kind of like the Cowboys, us being Cowboys fans, and we're talking about the Dez catch. Now, if we play the Packers again, which is, we're liable to play them in the postseason again, all things shape up the way they are. If I'm a Cowboys fan, knowing about that Dez catch, and then we play the Packers again, and anything remotely that's a controversy call, I will feel some type of way. So for a Detroit Lions fan, I can feel the funk that they bringing. I can't be mad at it. I can't be mad at it at all. But like my big brother say, they didn't cheat because they missed the call. The bottom line to all this is more of the refs were bad. That's me putting it in the most polite way. The referees were real bad. Being at that game, you just look at the epic flows of it. Cowboys get that last drive. And it sucks because Dak has kind of been robbed of like his late game heroics. You know what I'm saying? To move the ball down. Now, it wasn't even to move the ball. Credit to the Cowboys defense. They ended up getting a turnover that really put the Cowboys in winning position. Only we get a good first down play for Tony Pollard, and all of a sudden here comes a flag out of the middle of nowhere, and it's a tripping on Hendershot, which you go back and look at it, Hendershot feet is on the ground the whole time. Matter of fact, the refs were so bad, nobody even tripped anybody. Now, Aiden Hutchinson did try to trip Tony Pollard. It was his leg that went out. But really, it's a tripping call when somebody gets tripped. Nobody got tripped. So regardless if the refs missed it on who they were supposed to call it on, because it was supposed to be called on Aiden Hutchinson. It was supposed to be called on him. That don't even matter because he was really the one that was tripping anyway. So, and on top of that, it don't matter even more because nobody got tripped. So for them to throw a flag, that was real bad. That was real bad. You know what I'm saying? That was the worst, bro. It just, I don't know what to even explain. And that led to a series of events that created great anxiety in AT&T Stadium. I swear to you, man. Let me hold on. Mr. Cowboy, you being at that game. After that penalty, everything changed in the stadium and it got real and it got real fast. You know what I'm talking about? You get that penalty, that moves the Cowboys back, and it basically knocks us out of trying to take more time out the clock and scoring. But with that being said, Cowboys had their opportunity to still kind of play the odds and go ahead and run clock. But Mike McCarthy chose not to, and you saw what he ended up doing. We ended up going for a big play. Now, this throw could be on Dak. It was more miscommunication between Brandon Cooks and Dak, I believe, because where Brandon Cooks was, Dak could have made that throw. If Brandon Cooks keep running, something could happen. But what I didn't like about it, I said if you go and look at my sports vlog about this game, as he said, man, he felt it. If you go look at my sports vlog in the game, on that drive, when they were getting ready to drive, I kept saying, look, if you are going to throw the ball, if 88 is not double covered, then that is where you are throwing the football. I don't want nobody else. I don't care if it's Ferguson. I don't care. Let me turn the TV off so everybody can see the Texas Ranger plaque back there. But if you're gonna throw the ball, throw it to 88. That's a high percentage chance of having a big play. And we all see what it is. CeeDee Lamb is out there making it now. The game wouldn't even need to go into that situation when he broke the record, and he really could have scored a touchdown right there, or he puts us at 1st and goal inside the 1 yard line. We punch a touchdown in. The game don't even need to come down to what it came down to. Maybe the turnover don't even matter, or if we do still get the turnover, none of it matters probably. Had CeeDee Lamb, when he broke the record, got in for a touchdown and then don't get a fumble. And like I said before previously on my live, and I said this on Twitter or on X, it kind of made me upset because I thought, I didn't think CeeDee Lamb did enough to actually complete the process of the catch, possibly. And I was like, why don't Mike McCarthy challenge it? Hell, you challenged the Dez Bryant catch. Why don't you challenge this one? You know what I'm saying? But, hey, that's for another story. That's another story. You going to the game on Sunday? I mean, they are on the road if you're going to Washington, but are you talking about when they come down here after they beat Washington, they'll get their playoff game down here? Bro, it'd be a hot ticket. It would be a hot ticket. But hey, it can be done for sure. It can really be done. But CeeDee Lamb, man, he was on a tear. Like I said, he don't fumble that ball, man. The game don't even come down to what it came down to. So that's kind of how I look at that whole situation right there. Let's go ahead and talk some Cowboys news, as they made headlines today as the Dallas Cowboys have reunited ways with La'el Collins. He was the former, tackle down here, and him and Dak probably, I believe, kept a good relationship, probably even though, he done left the Cowboys. So this is probably a good reason you done saw La'el Collins get signed back into the fold. Now, the only question I have about this is, do you want to play La'el Collins at guard, or do you want him to stay at tackle? Do you feel that oh, you live in the DC area. Hey, go represent, my guy. Go represent. We all know Washington, basically, they tanked for the season, so them tickets should be cheap. So, man, hey, big salute to you, my guy. You came all the way down from the DC area, and you caught your first game down here, and you caught the best game. You know what I'm saying? The Ring of Honor game, 16 straight. Go ahead and treat yourself right, and go ahead and go to that last game of the season when the Dallas Cowboys clinch the number 2 seed and they win the division, baby. So go ahead and hit that thing up. I'll be hollering at you. Matter of fact, so we gonna have to make sure we stay in tune on the go on tune for the on the social media sites for sure, man. Looking forward to chatting with you on that, man. Facts. Said he went to the Philly game last year. I was there at the Philly game too, man. And bruh, that's my most viral video. Now, I didn't go on the road, but that's my most viral video is last year, the Philadelphia Eagles game. And that would have went double times. That game right there enhanced my skills of recording all these games, because that game is my most viral game, but it would have went double viral had I caught the T.Y. Hilton 3rd and 30 catch. I caught a lot of footage, but I did not catch that footage. And I mean, my stuff will be reigning supreme right now. So, man, big shout out to you, man. Hey, he said he went on the road, man. Big shout. Hey, it take you know what, nuts of steel to go on the road up in Philly for real. So, big shout out to you on that for sure, my guy. I see you. Big salute. Hey, that's a real Cowboy fan right there. He in the trenches. He in the trenches. This is what this, you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't go to the games, even if you represent the way you represent, a lot of us are representing in other towns, man. And it's about, you know, we playing our flag everywhere and we just represent the strongest way possible. So, like I said, we ain't just talking about Cowboys. We talk all DFW sports, but you know, the Cowboys, is football season. They rocking. This is what everybody wants to hear. So I bring it to them for sure. I bring it to them for sure. And talking about this La'el Collins situation, this makes me think, are they, you know, reconsidering what they have at the tackle position? Because coming into the season, we kind of felt like their tackle depth was probably the biggest strength about them on their offensive line was the depth that they got at tackle. But as we saw with Chime Adugo been doing, that ain't happening, man. You're gonna get somebody crushed, bro. And we too late in the season to be having blunders like that, and for our star quarterback getting crushed. We can't have that. So I'm all up for La'el Collins. I don't know what much more he can bring to the tank. I don't think you're gonna play him at guard. And if you play him at tackle, who are you gonna play him at tackle for? Are you basically saying that we got problems with Tyron Smith right now? Please don't be telling me that. That's the last thing I'm trying to hear. I don't want to hear nothing about. I don't want to hear nothing about no Tyron Smith might not be able to play and everything like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Let me know something, because that's kind of where the only thing I'm nervous about sitting at. If you're telling me he's gonna play tackle, that means something's wrong with Tyron Smith. Now, if he's gonna come in to play guard, that means something's wrong with Tyler Smith. Now, the Cowboys could just be saying, look, we have a good chance. We want to just make sure we have good depth coming in. We want to make sure we got all T's crossed and, you know, all I's dotted. And I'm cool. And I'm cool with that. You know, it kind of reminded me of the Texas Rangers, where they were in position where they were winning a lot of games, but they ended up having some injuries that happened to them. And what did Chris Young do? He went out and got him some pitching. He went all in. He went all in on the team that he saw had momentum to compete for a championship. Now, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, if y'all feel the same way right now, then why not take a look at Dalvin Cook then? Why not take a look at Dalvin Cook? As Mr. Cowboy, he up in there. Hey, I feel you, bro. Collins is a good pick. It's a good pickup. You getting depth. If we don't feel good with Udoga, we can move to and Collins. I mean, he'll still probably be learning a different scheme, but him and Dak, like I said, I believe they still cool, and I think they still got a rapport with each other. So, you know, you can get them up to speed, but this is more my question mark. Is something wrong with Tyron, or is something really wrong with Tyler Smith? Is he not going to be ready like we thought he would? So that's a question that we got to look at ourselves. So if you're telling me you're taking La'el Collins because it strengthens your team for a postseason run, then why not take a look at Dalvin Cook? Now, agreed, it's got to be about the money. The money situation got to be right. But at this point, Dalvin Cook is already getting paid right now. He's already getting paid. The money shouldn't even matter. To him, it's where do he want to elevate his profile and where do he want to be in the playoffs with. So for the Cowboys, it makes absolute sense for them to try to go ahead and make this push for Dalvin Cook. As Mr. Cowboy say, man, our running game is weak, and we don't commit to it. Now, Rico Dowdle being hurt, what I would say about Dalvin Cook, if you taking a fly on Dalvin Cook, that means something might be just really wrong with Rico Dowdle. Because I like Rico Dowdle. He's actually not been bad. You give him his touches, he able to do some things. Tony Pollard just looks like we want to make him a certain type of back, but he needs to just be the type of back that's a productive back for the Cowboys. And that's being a different pace runner at the same time, a threat out the backfield in the passing game. That's somehow he needs to be utilized for the most part that I feel he will be there for. So that's how I feel about that going in. And I honestly believe that the Cowboys, they're in it to win it. But how much more different bodies do you bring? See, bringing La'el Collins in makes sense because he's been around with those guys, the Tank Lawrences, you know what I'm saying, the Dak Prescotts. He's been around them. So he can fit into the culture. Now, Dalvin Cook, you'll be having to bring in somebody else. And you know, the Cowboys, they are on something now. Will they flame out in the postseason? That's all to be said. But last 3 years, they got a chance to basically go 3 straight years, double-digit win season, winning the division 2 out of the 3 years. So I like their chances. I like what they're operating with. Taking a flyer on Dalvin Cook shouldn't hurt because the money shouldn't even matter. You don't have to give up nothing to get him. So I believe Cowboys should take a hard look. You get La'el Collins, like I said, we're just trying to figure out what is really going on with the health of our offensive lineman. Mr. Cowboy, you're right. You know, I don't believe Rico is hurt. Like, I don't believe he's hurt. But, you know, they're trying to keep everybody off the radar. But like I said, I like Rico Dowdle. I really do. And I think him paired with Tony Pollard can do some things. It's just Rico is really not fully getting the touches. This team has turned into a pass-first team. And the one things I have always said about Mike McCarthy, there's been negatives, but if a positive I can take from anything, he has taken a team that was a wild card on the road to win every game on the road to a Super Bowl victory with not a strong, dominant running game. And not even a strong, dominant defense. So it's all going to be able to be said. A lot of people are asking, do you rest the starters? Why? For why? I'll put it to you like this. If somebody get hurt, it's just ill fate. But if you rest the starters and you lose, it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse. So you might as well win the division, and get that home field game. Because last time that the Cowboys took that trip to Washington last year, the end of the season, we saw how that looked. We really saw how that looked. So Dalvin Cook, bro, you know, me being a Florida State head, man, I would love to see Dalvin Cook back here. How much does it help the run game? I don't know, because Dalvin Cook is really still he's not a pounder. You know what I'm saying? And you're really looking for the tough yardage. You know what I'm saying? You're really looking for the tough yardage for the Cowboys. As Mr. Cowboy said, TP, he's better second and third down back. Like I said, he's that change of pace. And I would love to use him like Marshall Faulk. Now, Marshall Faulk was a different breed. Him and Curtis Martin, Warrick Dunn. Warrick Dunn is the main reason why I fell in love with Florida State. But like those type of running backs, they could still run in between the tackles, but they were real good. You know, they were every down backs too, to speak of that. But coming in today's game, TP to be a switch hitter, that's not a bad term. Not a bad term from him. I would like to see him being utilized more. Just if you're going to have a check down with him, that means the tight end or somebody else is wide open. You know what I'm saying? if you're going to force us to be patient. And long as a running back can make somebody miss in space, which Tony Pollard, I think he's got to get. There was plenty times in the game where he had big holes, and it just seemed like for some reason he wouldn't eat up grass. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say it's his vision, but it just seemed like he's not, toting that thing. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't toting that thing, man. But he still ran hard when necessary. After that interception, when he got that first down carry and he drove it for about 9, almost the first down, it was great blocking, but that was a good run by Tony Pollard. But you see, they went away from him, and we had the blunder of clock management. Then we got sacked and got knocked out of field goal range. That game, it just took a turn for the worst. Really took a turn for the worst. So, but I wouldn't be mad at the Cowboys taking a fly on Dalvin Cook. Now, me personally, I don't know what linebackers out there, but they need linebacker more than they need a running back. That's my honest opinion. If you're able to scratch up any more moves, it will have to be at linebacker. And at the same time, La'el Collins is on the practice squad. You got to kind of figure out your health wise, because now it comes down to the 53. So if you do take Dalvin Cook, whose roster spot do you take off of bringing Dalvin Cook in? So that's kind of something that you have to really figure out. So La'el Collins will figure out what more goes into it with him just being on the practice squad. And like I said, you still got Jonathan Hankins out there. You know what I'm saying? You still got Jonathan Hankins supposed to be coming back and getting ready for the postseason. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, because like I said, I think La'el Collins will probably stay. He will probably stay on the practice squad, just depending on the injury situation that we're looking at with Tyler Smith, and you never know about Tyler Smith. So you just got to keep in mind having him on the practice squad, and if you try to go and get Dalvin Cook, somebody's got to come out. Hunter Looping might come out, but, you're kind of hurting special teams right there. You still trying different things with linebackers, and then they have to be playing special teams. So that's kind of where I can see the Cowboys being their only reason they don't go after Dalvin Cook. It's more because they have to figure out something at their defensive tackle spot while Big Hankins is out. They got to make sure they keep bodies right there, the depth right there that they can get, regardless if it's bringing them off the practice squad. And then they still got to hold out things for the linebacker spot. And then when Hankins come back. So would I like Dalvin Cook to come to the Cowboys? Yes, indeed. But it'll be too many roster moves that it would almost be like you traded for Dalvin Cook, because you're going to have to make those roster moves right there. So, as you say, Tolbert should be off special teams. I agree, but it's up to Bones Fossil to make sure he's putting his guys in the right position. He can't be leaving his guys out there in vulnerable situations to get picked on the way Tolbert is getting picked on out of the last 4, 2 out of the last 4 weeks. So, now give credit to this, other team and their special teams. They're making plays. This is just something we're going to have to be ready for. So, La'el Collins, like I said, you can never have enough good offensive linemen. So I'm not mad with the Cowboys getting something like that. He say put a corner out there. So like you say, Cowboys got plenty of needs they need to run to. They got plenty of needs they need to run to. But if you're going to run into these playoffs, and the way it looks, if it were to end right now, you're going to end up seeing the Green Bay Packers. And the thing about them, they have run game. They have 2 good backs. That A.J. Dillon dude, man. That's a power back right there. And that's the last thing I need to see is this dude against our run defense. So, like I said, Dalvin Cook would be nice. Ain't nobody lying about that. But at the same time, what do you don't trade for him, but what roster spot do you cut for him? So that's something that this organization, they're going to have to look in, and that's what they get paid for. And this is what we done asked the Joneses to do. Look, stop worrying about the glitz and glamour on the field. You know what I'm saying? Let the players and let the coaches do that. You worry about everything that, to try to get this product on the field better. And hopefully they're digging in deep to do all their research about this. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I'm not too nervous. It's more about them just look, can they put together some good quality football going into the postseason, and can they be healthy enough? That is the main thing and the main concern right now with the Dallas Cowboys as they have their chance to go ahead and clinch the second seed. I want them to come out healthy, but I want y'all to have the number 2 seed just because you want to win the division. You want to win the division. Everybody had you pick second to win the division. So for you to come out and win the division, that'll be saying something. And like I said, it's just going to add to Mike McCarthy. It's going to be a weird situation. Matter of fact, later on in the week, we'll have more conversations about this. It's going to be a weird situation. It's going to be a weird situation. Cowboys win the NFC East for the second time in 3 years, and they go 3 consecutive years, 12-5. Any coach gets an extension. I don't care what he does in the postseason. Any coach gets an extension. Any coach gets an extension. Y'all know that. But if he go out in the first round, if you win the NFC East, it's going to be more pressure on Mike McCarthy to get to the NFC Championship game because you're riding a 16-game home winning streak. You see what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all some teases coming. You're riding a 16-game home winning streak. So there's going to be pressure on you to say, look, y'all are a better team in AT&T Stadium than anything. So there will be pressure. So that would be interesting. So I'm giving y'all a little food for thought for when I come back to see y'all again here on Sports Rapz. So that's going to be kind of mostly my time for the night as it is getting a little bit here late. It's been some good things going on, man. Good conversation, good topics, man. I want to appreciate everybody for joining in the chat for sure. Appreciate my man, Mr. Cowboy, man, for sure. Hey, man, we're going to be linking up, talking about some more things, talking Cowboy sports, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing if you go out to that game again for the finale and witness basically the Cowboys coming off, lifting the curse and basically on this Super Bowl run. So I'm looking forward to seeing you at that DC game, man. Let me know what it is. Let me know how live it is, man. We can, put some things out there and, put it on the platform for sure. So appreciate you for joining the chat. Appreciate to my big bro, Bug, as he'll probably be joining me later on in the week to talk some Cowboys talking as well as some DFW sports talk. So yesterday I was on the PSF app, the Pro Sports Fans app yesterday, did a live stream for the Mavericks game. It was an ass whooping, but that was my first time doing that live stream during the game like that. Y'all should go check it out. Go ahead and download the app today. That's the PSF app. Download that today. Most likely I'll be streaming another live game this Friday when they play, I believe it's going to be Portland. They play Portland back-to-back. So I'll be live streaming that game Friday. So check me out on the PSF app for sure. Tomorrow be Wednesday. It's hump day. You know what that means. I got the hots. So we will be on Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports on the speaker app around this time, around 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure y'all catch y'all boy out there, man. And we're going to keep going up and doing a lot of things about Dallas-Fort Worth sports, man. Down for winning sports. That's what we call it around here. So big shout out for everybody tuning in. And like I said, man, coming into the next time, we'll keep chiming in. Thank y'all for coming in. We're going to go ahead and finish this beer. I've been babysitting on it, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to go ahead and finish this, get some more notes to grit up. We'll get our show ready for tomorrow for the hots. So I'm coming I'm bringing a brand new flavor in your ear. and the flavor in your face as you see it. So big shout out. Big shout out to y'all. Catch the replay. Like I said, hit the like button. Go ahead, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And after that, man, I holla. Deucey.